Шановні колеги, ми продовжуємо робочий день.
Dear colleagues, we continue our working day. Now we give the floor to Ministry of Defense of Ukraine spokesman Colonel Victoria Kushnir. Good morning, dear colleagues. I'm glad to see you at our briefing. In order to make the armed forces more professional, the Ministry of Defense plans till 2012 to allocate 500 million hryvnias for bringing material and technical basis of the international peacekeeping and security center up to the standards of NATO. The Minister of Defense of Ukraine informed that in the territory of international center they will create a training complex where the military units up to brigade will be trained. So this complex will include the facilities for the troops deployment and also staying of the military instructions that were trained by foreign military instructors in accordance with the standards of the leading countries of the world. In order to build the center, they will allocate the money from the state budget. Also, some help will be provided by investors and international partners. Also, in June this year, they are going to start the building of the military camp in Shiroký Lan firing ground for 5,000 people. Also, they train field engineers in the demining center in Kamenets-Podilsky. A group of Ukrainian field engineers obtained international certificates from Canadian instructors. Ukrainian servicemen were trained in collecting evidence, also at site handling of explosive devices and deactivation of sophisticated self-made explosive devices. This is a third group of graduates of the center who were trained by Canadian instructors. On the whole, during this period of cooperation, the 90 specialists underwent training in the center according to the NATO standard, and they were trained in finding and deactivation of explosive devices. To meet state order and yearly procurement plan of the ministry concluded 104 contracts and additional agreements for 3,221 million hryvnias. According to the state defense order, they got 18 mortars, 2 MAZ vehicles, and 2 armored medical vehicles. On the whole, from the start of the year, enterprises supplied to armed forces more than 300 and 150 units of military equipment and 58,000 of ammunition. Also, the aviation repair enterprises of Ukraine now use closed cycle technologies of repair of different types of aviation equipment, and they improve the indicators of the work of these airplanes. Capabilities of aviation repair enterprises allow to modernize different types of aviation equipment that is in service of the armed forces of Ukraine, and also increase its battle potential up to 45%. As of today, in the aviation forces of Ukraine, they use 30 repaired and modernized airplanes, MiG-29, Su-24, Su-25, L-39, and also 6 modernized flight simulators, MiG-29, L-39, and Mi-8 helicopter. The modernization of the planes increased the range for identification of air and land goals, and also they now can use high-precision weapons. Also, flight safety was improved, durability and other technical and tactical characteristics were improved.
In the short term, the armed forces of Ukraine plan to the repair and modernization of several hundreds of aircrafts, and by the end of 2020, they plan to complete experimental and design works on in-depth modernization of fighter, strike, and reconnaissance defense aircrafts, modernization and creation of new air weapons, electronic warfare devices, aerial reconnaissance, etc. In order to conduct repair and rehabilitation measures of aircrafts, the Air Forces of Ukraine allocated about 2.5 billion hryvnias. This would allow to be produced 50 aircrafts to be produced, with half of them being modernized at the enterprises Prom and Motor Siege. The works on restoration of military potential of anti-aircraft missile troops is on the way. The state concerned Prom and structural units of the Ministry of Defense, General Staff and repair units of anti-aircraft missile troops joined their efforts and significantly improved firing life of the weapons. As a result, the units of anti-aircraft missile troops are ready to combat activities. Relevant activities are conducted in radio, radar, communications, reconnaissance troops as well. During previous week, repair units of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and state enterprises returned 286 units of weaponry and machinery to the ATO area for operation, including combat vehicles, howitzers, and tanks. Therefore, since the beginning of ATO, technical support of the Armed Forces of Ukraine repaired 48,211 units of weaponry and military machinery. Effective fulfillment of the state defense order by domestic enterprises, organizations, and institutions is controlled by the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. Since the beginning of this year, we have prevented overspending of 583 million hryvnias of budget money, besides that, military representative offices ensured transfer to the special fund of the Ministry of Defense 3,590,000 hryvnias for services on control of